In this video, we'll uncover the most valuable Washington quarter dollar coins you should be on the lookout for. We'll break down what makes these coins so special, how much they're worth in today's market, and what you need to know to sell them successfully at auction. First up, the 1968 Washington quarter was issued as part of the regular annual coinage, but its significance goes beyond just being a product of its time. The United States was going through a transformative period. Vietnam was ongoing, the civil rights movement had reshaped the nation, and the American economy was facing inflationary pressures. These factors combined with a national fascination with coins led to a greater interest in collecting, particularly among younger generations. The Washington quarter was originally designed by John Flanagan in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. However, the coin has remained in circulation ever since. By the time 1968 rolled around, the design was well recognized, and the coin had become a symbol of American pride and history. But the 1968 coin is particularly intriguing because of a rare error that emerged during its production, a mint mark error that is highly sought after by collectors. The obverse features a classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, with the words "Liberty" and the year of minting, 1968, inscribed. The reverse features an eagle perched on a branch, with the inscription, United States of America, a pluribus unum, and quarter dollar. The large date version of this coin is identifiable by the oversized digits in the year 1968, which stands out compared to earlier designs. However, this particular coin is even more unique due to the error mint mark, specifically a D mint mark error, which is a misplacement or incorrect application of the mint mark on the coin. This 1968 quarter, featuring the large date with a D error mint mark, is a rare anomaly. Typically, the mint mark is located beneath the D on the reverse of the coin. However, some coins were struck with misplaced mint marks, creating a scarcity of this error. The error arises from a die misalignment or a flaw during production that makes the mint mark appear in unusual or incorrect places on the coin. The black color mentioned here refers to a unique patina the coin has developed over time. This is usually due to environmental exposure, such as prolonged contact with soil, water, or air pollutants. Coins in black, dirty condition are often found among collections but are still valuable because they carry the historical significance of being overlooked or lost for decades before being rediscovered. Despite its dirty condition, a coin's value in the collector's market is often determined by its rarity, historical context, and unique features. The 1968 Washington quarter with a D error mint mark is an exceptional example. Coins like these often attract enthusiastic bidders in auctions, particularly when they are accompanied by authentication certificates and rare, distinctive attributes. In terms of current market value, the 1968 Washington quarter with a D error mint mark in black, dirty condition can fetch an impressive value $30,000 depending on the severity of the damage and the buyer's interest. Coins that are in more pristine, albeit rare condition can go for much higher prices, proving that even coins with flaws can hold substantial value if the errors are significant enough. For collectors, error coins like this represent an opportunity to own a piece of history that reflects the imperfections of the U.S. Mint at a particular time. Even coins in damaged or less than perfect condition can hold immense value, especially when they come with unique characteristics like minting errors or unusual coloring. Next up, the 1995 Washington quarter was part of a series of quarters minted with designs commemorating important moments in American history. While it might not have the historical depth of the 1968 coin, it is still a valuable coin due to its strong following among collectors and its role in marking the modern era of coinage. The mid-1990s was a period of technological advancement and economic recovery in the United States. The country was entering a new age of digital technology, and the economy was experiencing a booming period after the 1990 recession. During this time, coin collectors turned their focus to the unique elements of minting and coin variations, with many paying close attention to production errors, such as those found in the 1995 Washington quarter. The 1995 Washington quarter features the classic design by John Flanagan, which has remained largely unchanged since its initial introduction. The front of the coin displays the bust of George Washington with "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" inscribed. The reverse features an eagle with wings spread, perched atop a branch. The coin in question is the 1995 Washington quarter with a large date, which features more pronounced digits in the year 1995. It's a subtle but noticeable difference that attracts collectors who are keen on variations in design. Unlike the 1968 coin, the 1995 coin doesn't have an error mint mark. Instead, the rarity here comes from the general circulation of the coin, as well as its overall condition. In 1995, the United States Mint produced over 1 billion Washington quarters, meaning that the coin was struck in large quantities. Despite the high mintage, quarters from this year are still valuable due to their widespread use, their transition into modern coinage, and the nuanced variations like the large date that make them appealing to collectors. Collectors are drawn to the 1995 Washington quarter for several reasons. Firstly, it's part of the continued legacy of the Washington Quarter series, which has seen little change in its design over the years. Secondly, the coin's circulation condition matters significantly to collectors. Those in fine, circulated condition, like the one we are discussing here, are considered slightly more valuable due to their age and wear. Market values for the 1995 large date, with a P mint mark in circulated fine condition, can range from $5,000 depending on the coin's exact grade. Quarters in higher grades, or with a unique patina, can fetch slightly more, but these coins remain relatively affordable compared to their rarer counterparts from earlier years. Despite being more common, the 1995 quarter still holds a place of interest in many modern collections, especially for those focused on modern U.S. mint issues. The 1995 Washington quarter remains one of the most recognizable coins in American numismatics. While it may not command the same prices as older or rarer coins, its collector interest and unique design features make it a valuable addition to many coin collections. Coins in fine, circulated condition like the one discussed here offer great opportunities for collectors to get a hold of a significant piece of U.S. minting history without breaking the bank. Next up, the 1972 Washington Quarter Dollar. The Washington Quarter, first introduced in 1932, has undergone various design changes over the decades. However, in 1972, this coin gained a significant amount of attention due to a distinct error in its mintage. In the year 1972, the U.S. Mint produced a batch of quarters with a large date on the obverse, which, in itself, was a design choice, but more importantly, it also produced a significant number of quarters with a D mint mark error. In 1972, the U.S. Mint was transitioning through various phases of coin production, focusing on streamlining its output to meet the growing demands of the American economy. The Washington Quarter was in circulation as part of the nation's regular coinage program, and while it had a standard design featuring George Washington's profile, this particular year and minting issue would forever change its place in history. The D-error mint mark refers to coins that were unintentionally stamped with the Denver Mint's mark, despite the coin's production being intended for a different mint. The 1972 Washington Quarter Dollar with the large date is not particularly rare in terms of its total mintage. However, the error produced by the incorrect mint mark creates an intriguing anomaly in the numismatic community. This coin, when found in good condition, can fetch a price that significantly exceeds its face value, especially if it is verified and graded properly. Collectors today pay top dollar for error coins, and this coin's value is driven by its rarity and the quality of its preservation. For a coin in good condition, the price can range from $25,300 depending on how well it has been preserved and the auction market's demand for such unique pieces. Higher grades, such as very fine or extra fine, can see auction prices exceeding $500. The presence of a mint error, such as this D mint mark, increases the coin's desirability due to the error's distinctiveness, which collectors love to add to their portfolios. The design of the 1972 Washington Quarter is quintessentially American. On the obverse, you'll find George Washington's profile, created by the artist John Flanagan, which has remained the same since 1932. The reverse of the coin features a majestic eagle clutching an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and military strength, designed by the artist John Sinek. The distinctive feature of the 1972 quarter is the large date on the obverse. The year 1972 was the first time a large date was used, which, when paired with the D error mint mark, created a striking variation that quickly caught the attention of coin collectors. The mint mark itself, typically found on the obverse just beneath the date, denotes the mint facility where the coin was produced, with D indicating Denver. The error, however, lies in the fact that the D mint mark was erroneously placed on coins produced in other mints, which created a rare and highly collectible anomaly. The error with the D mint mark has created a surge in collector interest. Error coins are highly coveted in the numismatic community because they represent an anomaly, a mistake in production that makes the coin unique. For many collectors, the thrill of owning a coin with a minting error is unmatched. The 1972 Washington quarter with the D error mint mark is a great example of how a mistake can significantly impact the value of a coin. As minting technology improved, fewer errors like this occurred, making these coins even more valuable and sought after by collectors. In recent years, as more collectors and investors turn to rare coins as a way to diversify their portfolios, the market for such error coins has seen an upswing. Auctions and private sales for this coin are frequent, with values fluctuating based on the coin's grade and overall appeal. The rarity of this error, combined with the coin's historical significance, makes it a top contender for serious collectors. Investors, too, have started to see the 1972 Washington quarter dollar with the D error mint mark as a promising addition to their portfolios, as its value shows a steady increase over time. Next up, now let's turn our attention to the 1983 Washington quarter dollar, another remarkable coin that captures the interest of collectors and investors alike. The Washington quarter from 1983 features a large date on the obverse, marking it as one of the more distinctive quarters in U.S. coinage history. However, it is the P mint mark error on this coin that makes it particularly special. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, and throughout its history, it has undergone several design revisions. The 1983 Washington quarter is part of a broader effort to produce coinage for the country during a time of economic growth in the early 1980s. With the increasing demand for currency, the U.S. Mint was working at full capacity. The large date on the 1983 quarter was a noticeable design choice, but what made this year's coin extraordinary was the error involving the P mint mark. In 1983, a small number of quarters were mistakenly struck with the P mint mark, which denoted the Philadelphia Mint. However, the coins were originally intended to be produced at the Denver Mint or another facility. As a result, the Philadelphia Mint error created a rare coin with an error in its minting process. While the 1983 Washington quarter with a large date is not inherently rare, the P mint mark error is a different story. The minting process that led to the P mint mark error was an oversight, but it created a rare and highly desirable collectible coin. In today's market, this coin is valued much higher than its face value, especially when found in very fine condition. A quarter in very fine condition can command prices ranging from $15,200 to several $100s, depending on the rarity and condition of the coin. The presence of the P error mint mark boosts its value significantly, as collectors understand the rarity of the error. Some of these coins have sold at auction for $20,400 or more, depending on the demand and the particular auction setting. As with other Washington quarters, the 1983 design features George Washington on the obverse. The large date style, used in 1983, sets this coin apart from other years and adds a distinct character to the coin. The reverse, featuring the eagle and the olive branch, was consistent with earlier designs, symbolizing peace and strength. The most important feature for collectors, however, is the error itself, the P mint mark. Typically, the P mint mark is used to denote coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint. However, a batch of these 1983 Washington quarters were mistakenly stamped with the P mint mark, despite being produced elsewhere, adding to their rarity and collectability. Error coins, like the 1983 Washington quarter with the P mint mark, have always been of great interest to collectors. These errors occur during the minting process when something goes awry, making the coin unique and valuable. The P mint mark error, while not as widely known as other famous minting errors, has nonetheless gained traction among collectors, especially those who focus on error coins. As with all error coins, the value of this 1983 Washington quarter continues to rise as more collectors become aware of its existence. The market for error coins has expanded significantly in recent years, and this coin is no exception. Whether in private sales or auctions, the 1983 Washington quarter with the P error mint mark commands a premium price, reflecting its rarity and appeal. Next up, the 1980 Washington quarter dollar. With the large date and D error mint mark is an exceptional coin that has garnered much attention among collectors due to its rarity and the unique error associated with it. Washington quarters, in general, have been a staple in U.S. coinage since their inception in 1932. The design by John Flanagan features a profile of the first president, George Washington, which remains iconic in the history of American currency. But this 1980 edition, with the large date and D error, is a whole different level of intrigue. Let's explore why the Washington quarter, initially introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, has gone through several changes in design and composition over the years. By 1980, the quarter was in its third major phase of production, after being switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition in 1965 due to the rising cost of silver. The year 1980 marked a time of economic turbulence in the U.S., with inflation and interest rates rising. Coin production was at full capacity as the U.S. Mint worked to meet the needs of a growing population. The mintage of the 1980 Washington quarter was substantial, with over 625 million coins produced across the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. However, it was during the production of these coins that an error occurred, specifically with the large date feature. While most coins from this era have the standard size date, some quarters were struck with a large date design, which stands out due to the way the numbers 8 and 0 are noticeably larger than usual. What makes this coin even more intriguing is the D mint mark error. When it comes to the large date error, this feature is immediately visible to the naked eye. The numbers 8 and 0 in the date are significantly larger than those found on the regular version of the coin. This gives the coin a distinct, noticeable appearance that sets it apart from other Washington quarters. The D mint mark error is particularly exciting because, in 1980, most quarters were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use mint marks. The Denver Mint, however, used the D mint mark to signify quarters minted there. The error occurred when a batch of quarters intended for the Philadelphia Mint mistakenly had a D mint mark struck on them at the Denver Mint. This mistake led to a small population of quarters that are highly sought after today. Collectors are especially intrigued by this error for several reasons. First, the large date and D mint mark error is a relatively rare combination. While large numbers of 1980 Washington quarters were minted, very few of them have both the large date and D mint mark error. Second, error coins are always more valuable in the market because of their rarity and the story behind them. The fact that the D mint mark was mistakenly placed on these coins has sparked a lot of interest in the numismatic world. Quarters with errors are often seen as treasures for collectors, as the mistake gives them a historical context that adds to their charm and value. In the case of this coin, the error has made it an object of fascination among enthusiasts, and it has become a highly coveted item for error coin collectors. When it comes to the market value of the 1980 Washington quarter with a large date and D mint mark error in fine condition, it's important to look at recent auction trends. Coins in fine condition are typically less valuable than those in higher grades like very fine or extremely fine, but they can still fetch a significant price, especially when they're error coins. As of today, the 1980 Washington quarter with the large date and D mint mark error in fine condition is valued at anywhere between $72,200 depending on its exact condition, rarity, and the demand in the market. Some coins in higher grades have been known to sell for much more, and in some cases, this coin can reach even higher auction prices if the error is confirmed and the coin is in better than average condition. A coin with a similar error in very fine or extra fine condition could easily see a price rise to $100,000 or more in the right market. The rarity of this error coin makes it a great investment for collectors. As more collectors become aware of the 1980 Washington quarter with the large date and D mint mark error, demand will likely continue to increase, potentially driving up the market value even further. In conclusion, the 1980 Washington quarter with a large date and D mint mark error is a coin with significant collector interest. It is a rare piece of U.S. coinage history, and its value is likely to increase as more people recognize its importance and rarity in the world of numismatics. Next up, the 1982 Washington quarter dollar, with its large date design and D mint mark error, is another coin that continues to excite collectors and investors alike. As we dive into the details of this coin, we'll uncover what makes it so special and why it remains highly sought after in the world of numismatics. Like the 1980 Washington quarter, the 1982 coin was produced during a time of great economic upheaval in the United States. The early 1980s were marked by high inflation and rising interest rates, which had a significant impact on coin production. During this time, the U.S. Mint was producing quarters to meet the demands of everyday circulation while also dealing with changes in economic conditions. The 1982 Washington quarter was produced in 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of the 1982 quarters produced at the Denver Mint carried the D Mint mark, while those struck at the Philadelphia Mint were issued without a mint mark. However, like in 1980, a small group of 1982 quarters was struck with the large date design and a D Mint mark error, leading to a fascinating and valuable coin for collectors. The mintage of the 1982 Washington quarter was similar to that of previous years, with over 650 million coins being struck. However, due to the error with the D mint mark and the large date, this specific variation has become a highly valuable coin for error collectors. The design features of the 1982 Washington quarter are essentially the same as the 1980 version. On the obverse, the coin features a profile of George Washington, with the inscription, "Liberty, the year of mintage," and the phrase, "In God we trust." The reverse depicts an eagle in flight with the words, "United States of America" and "A pluribus unum," alongside the denomination of quarter dollar. What makes the 1982 Washington quarter stand out from other quarters is the large date feature. The numbers 8 and 2 in the date are significantly larger compared to those found on the standard quarters of that year. This variation makes the coin visually distinct and easily identifiable as a large date. The D mint mark error in the 1982 quarter is particularly notable because it was an unusual and rare occurrence. Similar to the 1980 Washington quarter error, this error occurred when some of the 1982 quarters, which were meant to be struck without mint marks at the Philadelphia Mint, accidentally received the D mint mark of the Denver Mint. This mistake made these quarters extremely rare, and error collectors have been eager to acquire them ever since. Collectors find these coins fascinating not only because of the minting mistake, but also because of the rarity of the D mint mark in 1982 quarters. Most quarters of that year were produced without a mint mark, and the accidental D mint mark placed on a small number of these coins only adds to their value and historical significance. The market value of the 1982 Washington quarter with the large date and D mint mark error in very fine condition is much higher than that of its fine condition counterpart. Coins in very fine condition exhibit better details, less wear, and overall higher quality, which makes them much more valuable in the marketplace. As of now, the 1982 Washington quarter with a large date and D mint mark error in very fine condition can be valued anywhere between $18,300 depending on the exact quality and the current demand in the auction market. In higher grades, the coin can even fetch upwards of $20,800, especially if the coin is in extra fine or extremely fine condition. The value of this coin continues to rise, thanks to its unique error and historical significance. As more collectors enter the market, the prices for error coins like the 1982 Washington quarter are expected to keep climbing. In conclusion, the 1982 Washington quarter with a large date and D mint mark error is another gem in the world of U.S. coinage. Its historical context, rarity, and collector interest make it a highly valuable item that continues to capture the attention of numismatists and investors. Next up, the 1990 Washington quarter is part of the continuing series of quarters honoring the first U.S. President George Washington. It was first issued in 1932 as part of a commemorative series celebrating Washington's 200th birthday. Over the years, the design of the Washington quarter has remained largely unchanged, making it one of the longest-running series in American coinage. The coin's obverse, featuring a bust of George Washington, was designed by John Flanagan, while the reverse features an eagle with outstretched wings. By the time the 1990s rolled around, the Washington quarter had become a standard part of American coinage. But what makes the 1990 coin particularly intriguing to collectors and investors is the large date feature. The coins minted in 1990 with the large date design have become highly collectible due to their rarity and distinctive appearance. The large date refers to the noticeable size difference between the 1990 digits on the coin's date. The mint mark D, signifying production at the Denver Mint, adds another layer of rarity and interest. The 1990 Washington quarter with the D mint mark was minted in significant numbers. However, despite the high mintage, a relatively small number of these coins are found in fine condition, which contributes to their higher market value today. According to the U.S. Mint, the Denver Mint produced millions of quarters in 1990, but few of them have survived in pristine condition, especially the large date variety. 1990 D Washington quarter. Approximately 511 million coins were minted. Estimated survival rate in fine condition, much lower than average, contributing to its value. While this number might seem high when you compare it to the survival rate of quarters in fine condition, the rarity factor plays a major role in determining the value of this coin. As with most Washington quarters, the 1990 large date coin features the iconic design of George Washington on the obverse. Flanagan's portrait of Washington remains one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. The reverse, which was designed by Gilbert Stuart, features an eagle holding an olive branch and arrows. The large date refers to the numerals used in the date 1990 on the coin's reverse. This version of the 1990 quarter is distinguishable by its larger and more prominent digits compared to the small date variety, which was also minted in 1990-1990. In fine condition, the Washington quarter's obverse features a well-defined bust of Washington, with his hair, cheek, and facial details still visible. The reverse of the coin shows a slightly worn but still distinguishable eagle, a critical detail for determining the grade and value of the coin. The value of the 1990 Washington quarter with the D mint mark in fine condition fluctuates based on several factors. These include the current demand in the coin market, the coin's grade, and its rarity. While many 1990 quarters can be found in circulation, a fine condition example can fetch between $10,000 at auction. However, if the coin is in superior fine condition with minimal wear, it could reach values closer to $11,000 or higher, depending on market conditions. Coins that are well preserved in fine condition and possess the distinctive large date feature tend to garner more interest from collectors. The availability of these quarters in fine condition is limited, making them more valuable over time. Collectors of Washington quarters are always on the lookout for specific errors that may increase the value of a coin. For the 1990 large date D mint mark quarter, common errors include off-center strikes, die cracks, and other minting defects. These types of errors can significantly increase the value of the coin, often making them worth much more than a standard version. The most notable error associated with the 1990 large date D mint mark quarter is the possibility of a doubled die or die clash, which could greatly increase its rarity and market value. Collectors are always interested in acquiring quarters with these rare error types. In summary, the 1990 Washington quarter with the D mint mark in fine condition is a coin with growing value due to its rarity and distinctive features. As more collectors seek these coins, the price in the auction market will likely continue to rise. If you have one of these in your collection, you may want to have it appraised to see if it's worth more than you think. Next up, the 1997 Washington quarter dollar, with its distinctive large date, may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance. However, like many coins, it holds a significant place in American numismatic history. The quarter was issued as part of the standard circulation coins minted by the U.S. Mint, featuring George Washington's profile on the obverse, a design that has been the hallmark of the coin since it was introduced in 1858-1932. However, 1997 is particularly notable due to its large date variant, which was the result of a deliberate design change made to accommodate different minting technologies and the growing need for clarity in coin production. The 1997 Washington quarter, with the large date and P mint mark, minted in Philadelphia, has become one of the more valuable modern quarters. While millions were minted, the condition in which they are found today plays a huge role in their value. Coins in uncirculated condition are significantly rarer and more desirable to collectors than those that have seen wear and tear in circulation. In fact, the survival rate of these uncirculated coins is much lower, which means those in mint condition are commanding a high premium in today's market. In 1997, the U.S. Mint was utilizing updated minting technology to improve the clarity and precision of the coin's details. The large date variety was a design feature intended to make the year more legible and to meet the demands of new coin production machinery. The large date can be seen in the numbers of the year 1997, with a distinct size difference compared to the regular date coins from the same year. What makes this coin truly fascinating to collectors is the interest in its error variance. While the 1997 large date coins are technically part of the regular mintage, the specific die that struck these coins sometimes produce small errors, such as doubling or weak strikes in certain areas. These errors, especially when found on uncirculated coins, can make a significant difference in value. Collectors often seek out these errors for their rarity, which further elevates the value of the 1997 Washington quarter dollar. In uncirculated condition, the value of the 1997 Washington quarter, with the large date and P mint mark, has seen significant growth over the years. In today's auction market, these quarters can fetch anywhere from $45,000 in pristine, uncirculated condition, depending on the quality and collector interest. Coins graded by reputable services such as PCGS or NGC can even fetch higher prices, particularly those in gem uncirculated condition MS65 or higher. The 1997 It's a piece of history, a product of technological advancements in coin minting, and a treasure for collectors. Whether you're looking to add a unique piece to your collection or invest in a coin with high future potential, this quarter is undoubtedly one to watch in the world of valuable U.S. coins. Next up, 1993. The Washington quarter had been in circulation for over 6 decades, and the series had gained a strong following among collectors. The 1993 Washington quarter is part of the ongoing effort to honor George Washington's legacy. Much like the 1990 issue, the 1993 quarters are part of a continued production of standard circulation coins. This coin is another example of the large date variety, which was a feature that drew much interest among collectors. The 1993 coin's obverse, depicting Washington's portrait, remains virtually unchanged from the earlier versions, cementing its place as one of the most consistent designs in U.S. coinage history. In 1993, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Washington quarters, with the D mint mark coins being minted at the Denver Mint. The mintage for the 1993 D Washington quarter is reported to be in the hundreds of millions, similar to the 1990 issue. 1993 D Washington quarter. Approximately 1.7 billion coins were minted. Estimated survival rate in good condition. Roughly 50% of coins from this year have survived in various grades, but good condition coins are still relatively common. While the 1993 D mintage numbers are high, it's important to note that not all of these coins have survived in good condition. Coins from 1993 that show signs of wear, such as scratches, discoloration, or heavy tarnishing, will likely be valued lower than those that have been well preserved. The design of the 1993 Washington quarter is almost identical to that of previous years. The obverse features the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. The reverse, featuring the eagle, is a design attributed to Gilbert Stuart. The large date feature is a defining aspect of this coin and is particularly noticeable in the numerals 1993, which are much larger than the small date version of the same year. In good condition, the 1993 Washington quarter with the D mint mark is not as rare as some other Washington quarters from the 1990s, but it still holds value due to its large mintage and unique large date feature. Typically, you can expect this coin to fetch around $6,000 in good condition, depending on market conditions and the specific characteristics of the coin. As with all Washington quarters, collectors are particularly interested in error varieties. Some common errors for the 1993 D Washington quarter include die clashes and off-center strikes. Coins with these types of errors could be worth more than standard coins, with some rare varieties reaching significant auction prices. For instance, a doubled die error could increase the value substantially, and this is something collectors actively search for. If you come across a 1993 Washington quarter with an error or defect, it might be worth a closer look by a professional appraiser or numismatist. In conclusion, the 1993 Washington quarter with the D mint mark in good condition holds steady value, especially in higher grades or with mint errors. While it may not be as rare as some other coins, its unique features and collector demand ensure that it remains a valuable piece in the market. Thanks for joining us. Happy collecting!